What's going on, everyone? This is the first ever episode of Mind Milk. It's the advice show that I've wanted to create for a long time now. For a little bit of background, my name is Scramaram or Sam, whichever one you prefer. I am a part-time content creator from New England. I'm a 22-year-old male, and I'm a huge sports fan and video game fan, but I like to do a lot of stuff. So I feel as though I have some good advice on most topics, but I mean, I could always be wrong. This is not professional advice. This is just me kind of trying to help out as much as I can when it comes to small fledged advice that my community brings to me. So if you guys have anything that you guys want me to talk about, in my Discord, I have a link to a form where you guys can fill out, and you can keep it anonymous, or you can have your name be presented, and I will be going over the advice that has been given to me. So today we have two topics. We have one about moving and then one about depressive naps. And as far as it goes, I would say both of these I have firsthand experience, but again, it's not professional advice, so take it as it is. Hope you guys learn a little bit of something or take away that maybe this isn't for me. But I want to start off something a little bit light, so let's start with the moving topic. As far as experience, I think in the last, say 5 years, 6 years, I've moved 4 times. So pretty experienced it with it now. I think I've gotten the hang of it. I know what to do and what not to do. And so as far as like basic advice, I should be able to give pretty good summary of what I would do. So the prompt that we were given as far as moving was, how do you move without help or a car? Now, that's tricky because you already take away 2 key factors to moving, in my opinion. I think you can never go wrong with enough help when it comes to moving. And obviously, having a mode of transport matters more than anything. But it's still possible. And I think it's actually quite easier than you would imagine. As far as with no help, I don't believe that there's no way you can get no help. There's not family or friends or people in the community that wouldn't be able to help is kind of mind-blowing to me. My mindset is help someone who would be willing to help you. So if you're willing to help people and you're willing to help your friends should be able to help you. And what I always thought was the best advice was, don't try and monetarily pay people to do it, because I think a lot of people don't take bribes that well. It's not like they don't need the money. I think everyone would like some money, but nobody wants to be paid for time. Like when you're with friends. Shouldn't say that because people work every single day, but people want to spend time with you. So instead of paying for them to help move and making it kind of like a monetary transaction, bribe them with food or drinks. Hey, let's have a night out. Once we're done moving, we can go out and get some drinks. Or once we're done moving, let's go catch a movie. Or hey, I'm gonna bring a 6-pack. Once we get halfway through, we can crack a couple. If you're of age, of course. But there's ways to make moving fun. There's way to make moving seem accessible to all. And there's a way to make it so friends will want to do it. I'm lucky enough to have a pretty good support system and good friends that every single time I've moved, I've had at least 1 or 2 friends help me. And I'm always grateful. And I think they all know I would do the same back. So it's been an awesome system, and I'm forever grateful. Probably going to move like 3 more times in the next like 5 years, knowing my track record. So I'm going to always need their help. So for me, that's always a night out, you know? For the mode of transportation, that's an interesting question, because there's a lot of ways you can tackle this. I think a lot of people instantly default to the U-Haul or all the moving truck companies, rent out a box truck. In most scenarios, you don't need a box truck to move all your stuff. I think a flatbed pickup or a normal pickup, those do. For example, I think it took me 3 trips in a pickup truck to move all my stuff. Fill up the bed of the pickup truck with a bunch of stuff. I have a couple big items, so like a bed, a desk, chairs, all that stuff. I was able to move all my stuff within 3 truckloads. If I was to buy a box truck, I'm not only renting that for the day, I'm renting that for the gallons used, and I'm renting that for anything to ever happen to that truck. So if I don't get the insurance and I scrape that truck, I'm paying fully out of pocket. Might as well hire a moving company at that point. So I just don't like the idea of using a box truck. I don't think it's a good idea. U-Haul has kind of been a little fishy with me before when I've helped people move and they've bought U-Hauls, and it's not worth it. You always know someone that either has a truck, or if you don't, the alternative is a lot of hardware stores will rent out a pickup truck for you. So as long as you can get to a hardware store, you could rent a pickup truck for a day and then just use that. So I think there's many ways to get around the means of transportation. If you're in a city, there are options for people to get like a little push wagon, like a little push cart, put a couple boxes in the push cart and move slowly. You don't have to do this all in one day. That's the big part about moving that I think a lot of people misconstrued, is it needs to be done in a day, and if it's not done in a day, then a lot of places are lenient. I think most times when you're moving out of an apartment, you can usually finagle about a week to 2 weeks of moving, because they have to clean the apartment anyways. That's what I've always been under the impression of, is like, your move out day isn't always necessarily move out day. As long as you talk to your landlord or the people you're living with, or whoever however your living situation is, just people will be lenient. Now, if it's an immediate evacuation situation, I would suggest maybe getting a storage container, putting everything in a storage container and having it brought to one of those storage yards. And then once you get moved into the apartment, go and just get the stuff out of the storage container. It might cost a little bit more, but you're already in a little bit of a desperate situation. So in that situation, it's kind of tough to manage everything. But if you can get it all done in one day, you can get it all done in one day. I've done moves in a one day note, but don't recommend it. So it's a lot of workout. That's another thing. Pace yourself. The worst thing you can do is push yourself too hard and then injure yourself, because then once you're done moving, you're going to be just not able to do anything. You're not going to be able to unpack. You're not going to be able to set up anything. So you'll be sitting probably in a fully boxed in room with a bed on the ground because you weren't able to set up your bed frame or whatever the situation may be. But don't hurt yourself. I think that's the big thing, is people basically almost like die moving sometimes because they're carrying a box that's way too heavy. Pack lightly. Pack multiple boxes that are way lighter than they should be. You know what I mean? Like, if you have clothes in abundance, get little laundry bags and just put all the clothes in the laundry bag. That way you're not moving dressers with laundry in it, or you're not moving hampers with laundry in it, because those get heavy. So there's always a way around getting yourself hurt while moving. I think I definitely have strained my back or hurt my hip or fell moving because I was being too willy-nilly. There's no need to overpack and overstress yourself. Take your time. Hire a bunch of friends and the means of food and drinks. And hey, honestly, most times when you do the foods and drinks method, it's cheaper than hiring a moving company, because you get like 2 or 3 friends with you. You're paying what, $80 for dinner, all 4 of them, or all 4 of you guys. Might be worth it. Anything besides that, I can't really think of anything else that I would recommend in the moving aspect. Some things I would recommend if you're looking for a new place is check out the area before you go. See what the best route is to bring stuff in See if you have an ability to have like an access door, like a back door of the apartment, or if your apartment's on the first floor, see how maybe you can fit things through the window, or maybe just try and finagle some stuff. Because when you're game planning, but you have no game plan, it's kind of hard, right? So you got to see where you're going. You got to see the layout. You got to see what time cars are going in and out. Because if you're going at a busy time and you're bringing a giant truck full of stuff into an apartment building, you're bound to piss off your neighbors. That's a bad first impression. So I believe take your time, set up things properly, pack lightly, get a couple friends, bribe them with food, drinks, whatever they want to do. And then if you don't have a means of transportation, those hardware companies, like, I don't want to drop names, but rhymes with Schmo Schmeepo or Schmoes, they have these rented trucks that you can get for a discounted rate sometimes, or you can get them with, I think it's like they cost per gallon, and it's way more efficient than trying to do the U-Haul method, because I don't think a lot of people need a U-Haul when they're moving, especially if you're younger. Like me, I'm 22 years old. I don't got a lot of stuff. I can fit most of my stuff in my Honda. So I don't think a U-Haul is necessarily like a must need. Checking out the area, again, big help. Finding where your grocery store is, finding where your post office is, big places that you need to go when you first move into a place. Locate them. Get yourself on a schedule. Get yourself knowing the area. You shouldn't just move into somewhere blindly. I think that's a bad idea. I think I've done that before and I felt very overwhelmed and rather not leave the apartment, which kind of segues into our next topic, which is depressive naps. As a young adult, I think everyone in our generation nowadays kind of deals with either seasonal depression or maybe just full-on depression, and it's hard times. I shouldn't sugarcoat it lightly. People go through a lot. I don't think it's necessarily one thing or another, but stress gets to everyone, and we all kind of feel the same way at times. We get tired and we don't want to do things, and we'd rather stay in bed all day and nap and sleep, and I fall victim to this all the time. I can't blame me. I like playing video games late at night and then sleeping in all the way into the morning. But there are ways to combat this, and I have firsthand battled with depressive naps. So what I started to adapt to was taking on a mindset which I called one more task. It's as simple as this. You set the goal as, okay, I want to take a nap. But then in the middle of that goal, you should set one task. Okay, I want to take a nap, but I'm going to first do the dishes. Then while you're doing that goal, set another goal. Because you're going to slowly start to realize you're not as tired as you think you are. I mean, it's very apparent. Someone's going to correct me. It's very clear that you're not physically exhausted. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be pushed to a point where your body is willing to give up and fall asleep. That, okay, it's a pretty clear sign that you're tired. When you come home from work or you've had a long day, just in general, most times I would say it's mainly your brain telling you you're tired. And I could be wrong on that case. I've always felt like that. I could always kind of cite back the times that I'm tired to, man, I just overwhelmed myself and my brain just wanted to shut down for a little bit. And that's fine. But if you're doing it too much with too much time wasted, I think it's time to kind of realize that, hey, maybe I should start doing the one more task. So you start off by going like, okay, I'm going to do the dishes and then I'm going to take a nap. Okay, but after the dishes, I should take out the trash and then I'm going to do a nap. Well, while I'm outside taking out the trash, might as well clean out my car and then I can go take a nap. It's like, okay, well, now I'm up. At some point, that's when your brain's going to click and be like, okay, I don't need the nap anymore. I'm up. I'm up and I'm active. So then kind of takes to the next point. Get physically active. Go run. Go for a walk. Go to the gym. Go play a sport. Honestly, play video games. Get your brain active. Get something physically moving in your body to prevent yourself from feeling like you need to go lie down. Push yourself. I know that's the hardest thing, and that's easy for me to say, but no, it's not. I don't push myself all the time. Sometimes I just kind of surrender. I surrender to the naps. I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go to sleep now. And it's easier to do that. But what I would recommend the most is don't just instantly give up because you get tired. You can push yourself. And once you push yourself, you trick your brain into thinking you're not tired anymore, and you can push yourself even farther. Now, what I do recommend is if you're having a hard time with staying awake during the day, maybe we should reevaluate sleep schedule. I think that's a huge thing that people lack, is lack of self-control when it comes to falling asleep. I think a lot of people I know are falling asleep at 2 to 3 a.m. I'm a victim of this too. 2 to 3 a.m. we're still on our phone, we don't get enough sleep, and we wake up exhausted. And then we're wondering why at 1 p.m. we're tired and we want to take a nap. There's definitely an epidemic when it comes to young adults and sleep. I think we battle it a lot. I think a lot of us doubt how much sleep we need. I'm one that believes that I need 6 hours. I know the national average is 8 hours, and you need 8 hours of sleep to get the best type of sleep. When I sleep for 8 hours, I feel a little bit like I feel like almost lethargic. I get a little too tired. But when I sleep that 6 hours, I can kind of snap into my day. I get up, I do a little bit of like self-care when it comes to stretching, or I do a little bit of meditation in the morning. Give myself something to calm myself in the morning, because full transparency, I wake up pretty anxious most mornings. I kind of don't rest as well as I should, and then when I wake up, I kind of feel like overwhelmed and anxious. So give myself that time to calm down in the mornings, and I think a lot of people should. I think we jumpstart our days, and then we wonder why we crash. I mean, you wouldn't fuel your car with shitty fuel, because when you go throughout the day, that's all you're going to be fueling yourself with. Oh, I woke up horrible, and I didn't even give myself time to relax, and oh my god, I forgot this, I forgot that, I forgot that. You gotta work with yourself. Give yourself a break, because we're all trying to figure this shit out. It's not a race, it's just the end goal. My final advice when it comes to depressive naps, and I guess this one is kind of arbitrary. I think it's a pretty easy to say this, but surround yourself with active people. I think a lot of times we love to sit in misery. We love to sit in the woe is me kind of attitude. Have people around us that are just like the same. We're all the same, and we're all taking depressive naps, and we're all sad, and it's not how we should be doing this. I think when we look at someone that's like, oh my god, they're always so active, they're always so happy, how are they doing it? Ask them, see what they do, hang out with them, chill with them. You can find yourself finding more enjoyment when you hang out with people that are willing to go do things. Go to the movies, go hang out, go to the bars, go play a sport, go hiking, go outside. The world is wonderful, and people in the world can be wonderful. But just as it goes, it's a two-headed coin. You hang out with people that are also kind of in that same slump, don't want to go hang out, don't want to go this, don't want to do this, don't want to do that. At some point, you gotta reevaluate, like, okay, is it helping? You know what I mean? Is it helping me to hang out with someone who is also just constantly wanting to fall asleep and not do anything? think of that, put it into your brain. Not saying you should just stop talking to people. You can have friends that are also in the same boat as you, but I think on the day-to-day, you should surround yourself with people that make you feel more energized as a human. Give yourself motivation to go do things. Give yourself some life support. I think everyone needs someone to talk to. I think we stopped as a society understanding that people are also struggling. We kind of taken this inside mentality of, oh, I'm doing horrible and everyone else is thriving, or I'm doing horrible but nobody else is doing worse than me. And it's just, we all have our struggles, we all have our things that we're fighting through, but we can tackle a lot of these stuff together. So to summarize what I've talked about today, moving, pretty simple as just give yourself some time, pack lightly, find yourself some people that are willing to do the move with you and to help you. Well, preferably some strong people. But I mean, if you can find only a couple friends, take whatever you can. If it's a neighbor, have the neighbor help. Be willing to put yourself out there to get the help that you need. And that kind of goes for also the depressive naps. If you feel like you're struggling to push yourself and the one more task mentality doesn't work, or being physically active doesn't work and you still feel sad, maybe it's time to go talk to someone. I think there's a lot of good support lines out there. There's a lot of good treatment websites, or even just face-to-face going somewhere to talk to someone to see what they recommend. And obviously, professional advice is better than just some random 22-year-old yapping about whatever. So I think a lot of people benefit from just asking for help. I think that's something that probably will be a reoccurring theme in these episodes, is we just need to be more vocal about what's going on in our lives. Talk to people that you know can help you. I think that's probably going to be it. I hope you guys honestly enjoyed this. If you guys see anything that you think I should change, or maybe you really did like this, please leave a comment. Like and subscribe to see more of this type of content. And hopefully this isn't the last one, and maybe I can change up the vibe, or maybe I bring in guests. So if you guys have anyone that you want to recommend for me to have as a guest on an episode, I would be more than happy to do that. But that's gonna be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.